This is the newly released Canon RF 45mm F1.2 STM lens, and it is the most fascinating and budget-friendly RF 1.2 prime that Canon has ever made. Compact, lightweight F1.2 that almost feels impossible for the price. I am personally excited about this lens because it brings a lot of premium, especially shallow depth of field, into a lens I can actually carry around every day without the weight and cost of Canon's bigger L series primes. So why did I get this lens, the Canon RF 45mm F1.2? Because it fills a perfect gap in my lens collection for the kind of shooting I do. Talking head videos like the one I'm doing over here, portraits, graduation and ceremonies, wedding and events. The 45mm focal length feels natural, so it almost feels ideal, especially in this situation. Sometimes I do sports, and so it will be great, especially in terms of sideline shooting. So let's look at the unboxing experience and first impression. It comes with a simple Canon packaging with a lens cap, lens papers, and as I always say on this channel, Canon is very obstinate. They don't give any sort of lens hood with this. I think Canon could have done a little bit in terms of that by giving us a lens hood. It is surprisingly small for an f1.2 lens and also lightweight and easy to handle out of the box. Now the first impression is that it feels so perfect, especially when I pair with my other camera buddies like the Canon R8. Build and design of the Canon RF 45mm f1.2. It is a plastic build but feels solid and well balanced and does not have any sort of weather sealing with it. It is extremely lightweight at 346 grams. It has a 67mm filter thread, which is very easy and affordable. So on this, I have a 77mm filter from Newer. The dimension of the lens is about 78mm in diameter and 75mm in length. It has a minimum focus distance of 0.45 meters. So it doesn't really focus really close as we define with a macro lens. It also has a magnification of 0.13x. It has a 9-blade aperture, which makes it to have smooth and swirly bokeh. It has no image stabilization IS with it. So basically, it's a prime lens. And normally what I've seen from Canon is that most of their prime lenses, especially the RF prime lenses, do not have image stabilization. I was expecting that Canon would have given a little bit of stabilization with this. Autofocus on the Canon RF 45mm f1.2 STM lens. The name itself determines the kind of autofocus mechanism I'm going to find on this kind of lens. So it uses an STM, which is a stepping motor focusing system on this. Unlike you find with more expensive lens from Canon, which uses the USM or the VCM models. It's also going to give you pretty fast autofocus mechanism on this, and it's going to be smooth and reasonably quiet. Shooting a few kind of videos in the studio and having this kind of lens mounted onto the Canon R8, I don't really have a lot of quirks, especially in terms of noise with this lens. Focuses nicely. It is not really fast and accurate as you find with it, but the eye tracking performs well, especially for video shooting. It has a little bit of slight hunting, especially because that is not too smooth with that. And that is because that I shot almost all the things that I'm showing on this kind of review at f1.2. I think it's a little bit smooth, it is nice, it is quick as it can be for a lens like this. The autofocus on it is really decent and not top tier, but it's really great, especially considering f1.2 that I was shooting almost all the videos in it with this kind of lens. Let's look at one amazing aspect of this lens that I think makes it really great. The image quality and bokeh out of this lens is gorgeous. It's very good and sharp at the center. I really do not care about the corner softness because I am not focusing on the corners. My interest is with the center of plane. It's really beautiful, cream bokeh with strong subject separation, especially at f1.2. Oh boy, this is the first f1.2 prime lens that I've gotten in my kit, and so it is really great. Adding that kind of swirly bokeh is what really makes this lens stunning, especially with it. It has a little bit of chromatic aberration with it. It also makes it more beautiful, especially giving it a lot of character. It has pleasant color rendering with natural and organic look. So for me, the bokeh rendering out of this and the image quality is beautiful, especially in video shooting. This lens renders bokeh and background images, subject isolation, really beautiful. But even with the Canon R8, which has no in-body image stabilization on it, using this to shoot handheld was really great, especially giving it great movement. Video shooting on this is really amazing I like the images that comes out of it. As a videographer and content creator, for me, I think the 45mm gives a natural perspective for talking head. F1.2 gives instant cinematic separation, especially in B-rolls. So who is this Canon RF 45mm F1.2 STM lens meant great for professionals and enthusiasts and people who really want a budget-friendly f1.2 prime lens without the need to spend a lot of money going into the RF Pro L series lenses? So what is my overall impression and take about this Canon RF 45mm f1.2 lens? I think that this lens delivers the magic of an ultra-fast aperture in a compact, just 346 grams in terms of the weight, that is effortless to use without any sort of fatigue. It may not be a Pro L series lens, but it brings cinematic depth, clean low light performance, and a beautiful rendering that can elevate everyday content and photography experience. If you like portraits, lifestyle videos, social media content, or simply want your RF setup to look richer and more cinematic, then this Canon RF 45mm f1.2 STM lens is a powerful and enjoyable addition to any photographer and videographer's kits. I have a lot of reviews about this lens coming. I have a lot of scheduled shoots with other clients that I shall be using this kind of lens. I will bring you more updates about this performance in real world test with the Canon RF 45mm f1.2 lens. My name is Abegu. Kindly subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.